ESPN+.
The Kennel is rocking for this huge West Coast matchup right before New Year's. The final non-conference tune-up. San Diego State and number 13 Gonzaga. These two teams have been to the national championship game within the last 3 years. In fact, since the start of 2019, Gonzaga and San Diego State among the top three winningest programs in all of college basketball. At the Kennel tonight with Sean Farnham, Roxy Bernstein with you. Glad you're with us for this one. And Sean, a matchup like tonight is great for college basketball.
It is. You mentioned it in a tune-up. This is a battle. This is a battle between two of the best teams in college basketball over the last decade, not just the last couple of years. And significant for both these teams who are looking for a signature win in their non-conference. And to have it be a true road game makes it even that much better.
Well, Graham Ike is off to a great start. The transfer from Wyoming, who was a medical redshirt last year for the Zags. Monster numbers for Mark Few to start the year.
Yeah, they had high expectations for him, and he's coming off of a 22 and 11 rebound performance against Jackson State. Now, this isn't Jackson State he's going against tonight, but as they turn the page from the non-conference into conference play, he needs to elevate his play, and tonight he'll need to do it because Jaden Ledee is special. Came into the season averaging just about 4.9 points per game over the course of his career. This year, he's one of only two players with 21 points, 9+ rebounds, and shooting 57% from the field. You know who the other guy is? Zach Edey. I mean, that is elite company, and Jaden Ledee has been a problem for everybody that has played the Aztecs.
9th in the country in scoring. He's had 20 or more in 6 of the first 11 games for San Diego State. And the opening tap controlled by the Aztecs in the black. The Grays tonight at home for Gonzaga. The Zags come in 9-3, San Diego State 10-2. And conference play right around the corner for both, and a foul 15 seconds into the game on Graham Ike that'll send Jaden Ledee to the line.
And part of what we're talking about in this matchup is who can avoid the foul trouble. Ledee got saddled up with 2 fouls early last time out for San Diego State and missed a majority of the first half of that game. And Ike, you can't afford to pick up a touch foul on an 18-foot jump shot by Jaden Ledee that you've actually defended pretty well.
One more for Ledee, 76% for the line this year. What's crazy about Jaden Ledee, Sean, he had a grand total of 4 starts in his career prior to this season.
Well, and you and I covered the Aztecs in their trip to Las Vegas earlier this year, and we talked a lot about Jaden Ledee and the numbers that he was putting up. He only had 34 and 17 against Washington. And it really has been a mindset and a development that started at the end of last season and has carried through this year. And his personal development, even in his 3-point shot, he had 0 3-pointers made up until this year. He's got 8 already this season.
Anton Watson with 10 to shoot for Gonzaga. A tough fadeaway on the baseline, well defended by Elijah Saunders, and here come the Aztecs.
Both these teams understand who they are, right? Like, Gonzaga wants to get out in transition. They want to play out in front of San Diego State's defense. San Diego State wants to be physical. They want to be tough.
Here is Saunders in the corner. Rims out a 3, and the rebound falls to Ryan Nembhard for Gonzaga. Step back. Inside, Graham Ike off the window to tie the game.
Great duck in transition and buried Ledee under the basket. Now, San Diego State had shot blockers last year. They don't really have a rim protector as much this year.
What else have you noticed that's different about their defense this year?
For the Aztecs?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a defense that has gotten better as the season has gone on. And Dutch talked to us about that earlier today, is their communication, their help side, rotations, and staying out of rotations that put them in bad situations. That has improved dramatically since that Grand Canyon game. They have not allowed an opponent to score more than 67 points since that loss at Grand Canyon.
In a true road game so far this year, they played 3, San Diego State. And they have challenged themselves in some extremely difficult environments. And coming to another one tonight here at the Kennel. Spinning down low, well short for Micah Parrish. San Diego State has already played at Grand Canyon, which is challenging a West Coast trip, as there is. And 1 for Ryan Nembhard.
And Nemhard, they had open space and nobody down low on the block that time. And watch it lean into the screen. And Lamont Butler was leaning into that screen, and that's what created that gap and that seam to attack. And as soon as he got his shoulders by him, all there was going to be was contact and a good job finishing out over the top for Nemhard.
Transfer from Creighton.
Now, he doesn't miss the free throw line now. Last 6 games, he is 14 of 14.
88% on the year, and he gives the Zags their first lead. San Diego State going over to Seattle. And stepping into a 3. And Reese Waters from long range.
What a pickup he has been from USC. Pac-12 6th man of the year. Has been an essential part of the Aztecs' success early this college basketball season. See, they got rotations there. They don't want that. You cannot have Lamont Butler defending Anton Watson on that screen and roll situation because they're just going to throw it up to the square and he can finish up over the top.
Tied at 7, almost 3 minutes in. San Diego State going to Grand Canyon. They played at BYU, who's proven to be one of the top teams in the country this year. And now coming here to the Kennel to take on Gonzaga. Jaden Ledee in the lane, the miss. Anton Watson clears for the Zags.
They're going to mix up coverages on Ledee the entire game. Look at great post, pin and seal by Ike.
Turns middle, and the Zags take the lead.
Ike is getting his work done early tonight, and that's really important against Jaden Ledee, that you've got to sprint the floor and get your feet set.
The steal, Anton Watson, who's second in Gonzaga history in steals, and a foul will send Ryan Nemhard to the line as the steal leads to transition for the Bulldogs.
Now, Anton Watson, one of the best defensive players in the country, the versatility that he has to guard 1 through 4. And you mentioned it, you're second all-time in steals to only John Stockton in this program. Tremendous.
That's pretty elite company. Is Mark Few, 35th season overall at Gonzaga. 10 years as an assistant. And the winning percentage off the charts for Mark Few. And right around 84% of his games as a head coach he has won.
And in this building, it's even more difficult. But listen, I posted this yesterday. First game ever called at ESPN was November 16th, 2010, tip-off marathon here in this building. It was San Diego State versus Gonzaga. Kawhi Leonard, Billy White. Of course, they were going against a Rob Sacre team that had Kelly Olynyk. Elias Harris was on that team as well. Stephen Gray. And the Aztecs won that game. And that was a statement for Coach Fisher at the time and really an announcement that the Aztecs were going to be players on the national scene. And they went throughout that year with the games against Jimmer, made it to the Sweet 16. And this program really hasn't looked back since. They have been nationally relevant every single year.
Third longest run of consecutive NCAA appearances, with Michigan State and Kansas only ahead of Gonzaga. The Zags up 2 early at the Kennel.
The 11 for the Zags to go along with 2 assists.
Ryan Dutcher going to his bench, bringing in Darion Trammell. Also Jay Powell checking in for San Diego State. And for Gonzaga, Ben Gregg makes his first appearance. Here is Darion Trammell. Drives and finishes inside, and Trammell was playing less than 100% early in the year, and he's gotten healthier, and he's starting to really find his rhythm again like he was at the end of last season.
Well, and that becomes a difference maker for the Aztecs. I mean, him at 100% versus the shoulder injury. Great block shot from the help side rotation there. But the injury that he sustained and he was dealing with was a huge problem as far as getting into a rhythm, feeling confident out on the floor. And Trammell has gotten himself back to a spot now where he's starting to contribute like he did a year ago. And that just adds more depth, better guard play, and in particular, his ability to defend. He's a really tough on-ball defensive player.
Double figures for Darion Trammell in 3 of the last 4 games. After none of the first 7, coming back from that shoulder injury is the roll for Ben Gregg. Put the Zags back on top, and Darion Trammell was the MVP of that South Regional that got San Diego State to the Final Four.
I love Ben Gregg and what he brings to the floor. Every time he steps on the floor, you know he's there. He provides energy, a toughness, a spark.
Retrieve the ball from Jaden Ledee. Still 10 to shoot. Darion Trammell, the deep two.
How confident was that? That is a tough shot to make. Shot clock winding down. Created space off the bounce.
Anton Watson to Dusty Stromer in the corner. And a three for the freshman.
Much needed for Dusty Stromer to knock down that shot. They need production from his position. Thrusted in there because of injury. The talented freshman out of Southern California got his feet set, squared up that one.
Must be something that puts him at ease with a Farnham on the floor with him.
No, that does not put him at ease at all, trust me. But a tremendous talent and a really bright upside for Gonzaga. And the experience that he's gaining right now, I think is going to help him as his career progresses here.
Nolan Hickman left open for three.
Well, if you're looking at Gonzaga over the course of the season, they have struggled a little bit from beyond the arc and lacking consistency there, but last two possessions, really good.
Micah Parrish going inside for his first points. But the Zags have hit a couple of threes already in this game at just 32% from outside the arc this year, which is un-Gonzaga-like. Jay Powell, the drop-off, and a foul, as Jaden Ledee couldn't get the shot to go, but he'll get rewarded with a couple of free throws. And the foul is on Ben Gregg of the Bulldogs.
Gonzaga dominates in the paint. We know that, and they've done a good job of attacking the paint all night long. What that does is it collapses your defense, and it will allow to have wide-open shots from the outside. And a couple of good possessions, great ball movement, trusting in your teammate, and being shot ready on the catch. And both Stromer and Hickman knocked it down.
Jaden Ledee, 2 for 2 from the line already, and he gets the roll. And one more for Ledee. So the senior from Houston, who is a two-time transfer. Latest freshman year at Ohio State, and on to TCU, and now his last go-around with San Diego State.
You mentioned 10th in the country in scoring. He ranks in the top 25 in 5 other statistical categories. If you're looking at college basketball in November and December and players that have far exceeded expectations and have made a name for themselves in a presence, Jaden Ledee could be on the top of that list as far as what you expected at the start of the season to what he's delivered for his team.
Look, Brian Dutcher in San Diego State thought he'd be good this year, but there's no way they thought he'd be doing this. And that's an over and back call against Gonzaga, a turnover. They thought he'd be a really good player for them, Sean, but if you were to ask them, they'd be lying to you if they said they expected Jaden Ledee to be doing this.
Basically 22 and 9 every single night.
Yeah.
Knocking down threes. It has been impressive. And we mentioned it, the 34 and 17 that he had against Washington in Las Vegas on a neutral floor. He is comfortable and he is confident, and that is a dangerous player when you have an understanding of who you are and what you need to do to be successful.
Darion Trammell.
How comfortable and confident is he right now at the start of this game?
7 off the bench already. San Diego State on a 7-0 run to take the lead.
Now, Trammell has done it off the bounce and created a little space. This time he runs off the screen. And you're trailing, and as you trail and you feel where your defensive player is, and if you know you get your shot off, go ahead and take it. And Trammell, 3 for 3 from the field right now with 7 points.
It's been about a month, Sean, since you and I saw San Diego State in Las Vegas. Anton Watson called for a foul as Miles Bird forces the turnover. But just looking at Darion Trammell,
completely different than when he was in Vegas. And they told us in Vegas he was probably 70% at best. And what did Dutch tell us today?
He's healthy.
He's back.
He's back.
Well, and what's back too is their defense. And you saw Miles Bird, by the way, great play there, jumping the pass lane twice on that possession.
Here he is again. And the roll, you think Darion Trammell is feeling it? Wow, what a shot. What a bounce. 2 threes for Trammell. He's 4 for 4 from the floor.
Well, and when you make a shot, you sprint back in defensive transition. You don't allow the Zags to get out and run, a key component to any opponent against Gonzaga.
10 straight for the Aztecs. Ben Gray missing a 3. And the rebound, Lamont Butler for San Diego State. Jay Powell moving in. And his shot denied by Ben Gray. And Gray, and he's fouled by Lamont Butler. And it's the second on Butler with 11:05 left in the first half.
Well, that's been a 10-0 run for the Aztecs, and Trammell's been sensational. Confident, feeling it, doesn't need a lot of space. Coach says he's back. He looks like it. He's got 10 early. Last 3:25, 10-6.
And Gregg will shoot 2 after the second foul on Lamont Butler. And the junior from Clackamas.
And this is the thing about this year's team for Gonzaga. You got a lot of personality. They get along great. They communicate well at practice. You hear them, the way that they really support each other. But from a spark perspective, I think Ben Gregg's got to be that spark. He's got to be the guy. Timmy had a brashness about him, without a question, for 4 straight years. It would get people going. The energy level would pick up.
Confidence when he was out there.
And I think Ben Gregg has a little bit of that kind of spark ability in his own way for the Bulldogs.
Drop off from Darion Trammell to Miles Bird, who will get to the line. Now they're going to say inbound on the fouls on the floor, so it'll be on the baseline for San Diego State.
But Brian Dutcher, what a job he's done. You mentioned Mark Few. Look at the record, 161 and 49. It was such an essential part of Coach Fisher and the process at Michigan and then at San Diego State. And the story's been told over and over again that Coach Fisher used to walk around and pass out tickets and beg people basically to come to games. I don't have to do that anymore. The show is one of the best student sections in the country. That environment is crazy at San Diego State, and Brian Dutcher has just built off the foundation that was laid down and continues it year in and year out.
Ben Gregg just picked up his second foul, spinning in the lane. Jaden Ledee to miss, and it trickles into the Gonzaga bench. Last touch by the Aztecs. Think of those great student sections on the West Coast, certainly here at the Kennel, which school's out, so it's not the same type of atmosphere. It is still jumping, though, here at the Kennel. But the show, the Havocs at Grand Canyon have entered the conversation. Do we still consider the BYU's
the McHale Center
in the Big 12?
The Rock.
West Coast, the Rock, yeah. Step back, Nolan Hickman.
That's a beautiful step back to create space. Hickman's second 3 of the night.
When Oregon had it go in the pit crew there. Micah Parrish way off of the 3. And here's Ryan Nembhard. The lob, Anton Watson.
What a great find, vision and awareness. Anton Watson sprints the floor, gets behind the back line of the defense. Nembhard sees it right away and delivers it on a dime.
7-0 run for the Zags. Already 4 assists with the 5 points for Nembhard. Darion Trammell rattles out the rebound. Nolan Hickman. Zags in transition. And Ryan Nembhard gets knocked down on a foul on San Diego State.
Nembhard in attack mode off the bounce that time. Previous possession. Vision, awareness, back line, falls asleep. Anton Watson points up. Nembhard delivers it, and he's able to finish. What do you think about Gonzaga? When they're at their best offensively, under Mark Few, the ball is moving at all times. I mean, it is moving. It's not off the bounce. It is off the pass. And players are moving without the ball, creating open spaces and seams. Whether it's Joel Ayayi or any of the other great players that have moved well without the ball and found success.
In and out for Ryan Nembhard. Long outlet from Elijah Saunders to Darian Trammell, who glides in.
That was a phenomenal pass by Saunders. But my point being is this. Gonzaga is shooting 56% from the field tonight. They have 6 assists on 9 made field goals. That's the ratio that we've come accustomed to, and it has not been that way for a large part of the season.
There is a certain fluidity that you're used to when watching the Zags. Just like this as Anton Watson gets hammered going down the lane.
The previous possession, though, the outlet pass out ahead, and Trammell one-on-one in the open floor like that, nothing really Higbee could do.
Watson 63% from the line. One more for Anton Watson. And 5 points already tonight as Dusty Stromer comes back for the Zags. Watson leads Gonzaga in scoring, rebounding, steals, blocks this year. And wave it off, Graham Ike, a lane violation. Wave off the second attempt for Watson.
You and I thought this was going to be a great game, and what we've gotten so far is exactly what we would have expected coming in. I mean, these are 2 high-level teams that will be in the NCAA tournament and probably wearing home-colored uniforms.
Inside to Jaden Ledee. Drops it off underneath in the lane. Elijah Saunders and a beautiful feed from Jaden Ledee.
Well, the footwork by Ledee, staying on balance, not getting rattled by the pressure.
Graham Ike down low.
What I loved about that possession was the patience of Ike. Ledee was laying on him even when Watson had the ball, but on the ball reversal, he ducked in and sealed him. Created that opportunity for him to score.
Saunders rims out a 3 and the rebound, Ryan Nembhard. Inside 7.5 to go. First half, 2-point game at the count. And an errant pass, and Watson throws it away over to San Diego State. We expected a good one, and we've got a good one, Sean.
Yeah, a 2-point game. And watch the footwork here. You double the post. Now you're trying to get out of it. Anton Watson loses his guy. Saunders able to finish. And at the other end of the floor, this is on the ball reversal. So he was getting leaned on when the ball was on the weak side, away from him. As it came back, Ike, great job burying him and finishing. Seth Greenberg, who's in studio tonight, we talked about this when I was in studio with him. Most impactful transfers. Maybe not the best transfer, but the most impactful. Hunter Dickinson, obviously, Kansas gives them a big. And when Bill Self has a big like Hunter Dickinson, they have a lot of success. Johnson in Arizona, San Diego State fans turn away. But he fills a void for him at the 4 position that the Wildcats need to compete for a national championship. He's been in double-digit scoring every game except for the one against FAU. Cam Spencer and his shooting ability from Rutgers to transfer in has been huge for UConn, shooting 45% from beyond the arc. And then how about Dalton Connect from Tennessee? A team that can get stagnant at times offensively and struggle to score. Their defense elite. They have visions of winning the national championship, competing at that level this year. Dropped 37 against North Carolina. He has been huge for Rick Barnes.
We can go on and on and on with so many transfers around college basketball. This day and age, as it spins out for Jaden Ledee.
Good job walling up defensively.
I mean, we could have included Graham Ike on that list, too.
He's playing his way onto that list. And I think early, you talk about dusting off the rust of missing all of last season. And then being asked to come in and fill the void left by Drew Timme. That's a huge gap. And you just got to be yourself. And he's done a great job tonight being a physical presence in the paint.
And the rebound trickles out of bounds. And we'll stay at this end, says Big Chair Mike Reed.
This is great officiating crew here tonight.
Yeah, Mike Reed, Michael Irving, Doug Schaus, their crew.
Mike Reed was an alternate last year at the Final Four.
Ike on the block. And the rebound tipped out to Micah Parrish for San Diego State. Zags by 2. It led by as many as 6. San Diego State is led by as many as 4 in the early going. And the pull-up jumper rims out for Reese Waters.
Good defense by Dusty Stromer, contesting that shot.
Off balance, tough shot, Ryan Nemhard.
And he just backed in, and that was physicality on physicality, and Nemhard just willing it in, because Trammell didn't back up at all.
Nemhard with a strong all-around game already. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Fade away. Micah Parrish the miss, and the rebound grab by Graham Ike. And then a foul committed by the Aztecs, the second on Micah Parrish.
Let me just tell you this. Graham Ike, he's got 3 or 4 shooting, 6 points, and 3 rebounds. But maybe what's been more impressive has been his positioning and his defensive effort of forcing Jaden Ledee into shots that are contested and not as comfortable and not as deep as we've seen him get throughout the course of this season.
Here's Stromer in the lane. And it spins out for Dusty Stromer. Darion Trammell, 12 points, lead everybody. He's 5 for 6 from the floor. The rest of the Aztecs are 5 for 16. 5 for 17. That was all the way down and popped out for Jaden Ledee.
Jaden Ledee can knock down that shot, but a contested shot from there with Ike right in front of him, you're going to take that if you're Mark Few.
Darion Trammell, the block shot. Picked up by Graham Ike. The Zags have matched their largest lead. Darion Trammell missing from deep. And the rebound batted around. And it's out of bounds. San Diego State ball. Aztecs have gone over 4 minutes without a field goal. I don't think Mark Few agreed with the call.
No. What we're seeing right now is what a lot of opponents have felt in this building before. That the Zags can go on a run and all of a sudden create separation. The key is not to be rattled if you're San Diego State.
And a foul will send Stromer to the line at the other end. It's on Jay Powell of San Diego State.
And Ledee frustrated with his inability to finish.
Zags in the bonus, 7th team foul, so a 1-and-1 for the freshman Dusty Stromer. It's ranked 34th. The recruits coming into college basketball by ESPN's national recruiting director, Paul Biancardi. And also a high school teammate of the Oregon Ducks, Jack Farmer. First ACC basketball doubleheader on ESPN. R.J. Davis, Armando Bacot, Harrison Ingram, number 9 North Carolina, taking on Pitt at 7 Eastern, and Kyle Filipowski, number 16 Duke, and Syracuse at Cameron Indoor. Should be a great night of hoops. Doubleheader of the ACC to kick off the noon.
I love that we're getting conference play. Conference play, everything gets a little bit more intense, and this is a game that feels intense.
Largest lead for Gonzaga. 8-0 run ended by Miles Heide, the freshman from the state of Washington.
Yeah, Heide with the finish, but that run was ended because Reese Waters has incredible vision and found him and set him up easy.
Nolan Hickman turns the corner. And he missed at the rim, and the rebound, Miles Heide.
And Hickman's down with an ankle.
Hickman's clutching that right ankle, back of the other end. Numbers for San Diego State as Miles Bird lets fly. He's way off. And Mike Reed stops play to check on Hickman.
Yeah, but that's poor recognition by San Diego State. Because you have an opportunity, say, a number situation. But Graham Ike, he's been sensational. You look at battles, and the battle we previewed tonight was against Jaden Ledee. And it seems like he's taken that as a personal battle. His effort defensively and offensively has been outstanding for the Zags.
USAA. A very different look for Illinois tonight. Coach, what do you like about the Zags?
Yeah, Von Mark, I feel good about my team. My ball movement's good. My people movement's good. I've established Graham Ike in the low post. We're making some threes. We're a 32% three-point shooting team. We're 3 for 8. Life is good. Continue to rebound the ball. Try to play ahead of the defense.
As we head back to Spokane, Roxy and Sean.
Well, Gonzaga up 6, 3:13 to go in the first half.
Life is
Kevin
good in Connecticut.
coming up with a half.
Life is good here, too.
Come on, we're at the DAP. We're getting the Florida Flatbreads tonight.
Of course it is.
Life's good. Also, speaking of for people, this was during the timeout and the entertainment and a half-court shot buried.
Do you know what he won? $1,200. That's pretty good.
That is a good gift.
That's a good way to end the year.
Christmas gift, yeah.
That's a good way to end 2023.
Well, that's what the Zags do, half-court shots to end every shoot-around. They go both ways, and they keep track as a timeout taken by Anton Watson in danger of a 5-second call, but they keep track of how many half-court shots they made. 30-second timeout. Down by Reese Waters, and here come the Aztecs. 2 on 3, doesn't matter for Darion Trammell. Miles Bird to the basket.
Smart to turn down the three-point shot there. You're struggling to score. You're 1 of 9. Your last 9 from the field. Be aggressive and get in the paint.
Inside, falls off for Braden Huff. And San Diego State claims a defensive board. Quickness of Darion Trammell, denied by Braden Huff. And the loose ball tracked down. Good to see Nolan Hickman stay out there after turning his ankle. And now Hickman, the pull-up, rattles out. And taking the rebound away, Braden Huff for the Zags.
Now, what is the one thing that Brian Dutcher told us at shoot-around today? And I asked him, I said, what, going into conference play, what's your biggest concern? He goes, we have to rebound the ball better. They are not rebounding the ball well. They're -8 right now. And second chance points, it is a 4-0 advantage for Gonzaga.
And the Zags, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They're a +12 almost per game. Desperation heave, and Darion Trammell. Timeout San Diego State. Just got it off to beat the shot clock. Third 3 for Trammell.
Where would the Aztecs be without Trammell tonight? Coming off the bench, and even in tough situations. Look, that is an absolute heave. But 3 of 5 from deep. He's got 15 of the 34 for the Aztecs.
The officials are at the monitor. I'm guessing, Sean, to see if he beat the shot clock, which he clearly did.
I think right now, and Coach is right about everything that Gonzaga is doing right, but I think if you're Brian Dutcher, you're looking right now and saying, okay, Trammell, guys, has kept us in this game on the road. And the dude that's averaging 22 points per game, he's just 1 of 6. He's not going to do that in the second half, and we're going to find a way to get him better looks, and we're going to get him going as this game goes on. And that's going to open up a lot for everybody else. But if Jaden Ledee gets going here and you can go to the half and you're trailing only by 3 or less, I think you're the Aztecs, you're feeling pretty good.
Last 23 points for San Diego State. Darion Trammell is 15 of them. Ryan Nembhard. And the rebound here is Trammell off the deflection. Finds Reese Waters, gets the flyby, steps in. Smart play from Waters.
And they're going to take the high percentage shot. And I know analytics tell you just shoot the three in transition that time. Get your feet set, shot fake, defense goes by. You can step into that 16, 15-foot shot that you're going to knock down at a 60% clip. That's a great shot.
Braden Huff open. And the rebound, Elijah Saunders for San Diego State.
And you're going to take some time here and run this down as much as you possibly can.
Jaden Ledee. The give and go with Elijah Saunders, who rolls it in. San Diego State seesaws in front. Final 12 seconds of the half. Ryan Nembhard to the basket. Falls off. And the loose ball. Diving forward is Saunders, and he gets a timeout with 2.5 seconds to go in the half. And Brian Dutcher applauds the effort, but didn't necessarily want to lose that timeout.
It is a fight on the glass. Every time a shot goes up, the Zags are doing an outstanding job putting pressure on the backboard, and that time the ball just gets deflected out. With 2.5 seconds left, you'd rather just let the clock expire, say, we're fine, let's go to the half with the lead. 2.5 seconds from this position where the ball is being inbounded, you don't have much of an opportunity. You get 2 bounces, 2 dribbles, and then there's a shot.
6 lead changes in this first half. Nobody's led it by more than 6. I take it back, Gonzaga did have an 8-point lead. But it has been tightly contested. Teams battling here. Final non-conference tune-up. Or the Aztecs head to the Mountain West and the Zags begin WCC play.
All you want to do if you're Gonzaga is force them to catch the ball in front of you, hopefully not turning with momentum into your half of the court.
And it's deflected out by Dusty Strober.
All right, 0.5 seconds came off. You still have 2 bounce and shot. Can you get something going towards the basket?
Reese Waters off bounds from the corner. San Diego State closes out the first half on an 11-2 run. They're up 1.
And Jaden Ledee is just 1 of 6 shooting from the floor. I think if you're San Diego State, you're really pleased defensively how you close that half. And then obviously the contributions of Trammell, they go without saying.